Hey guys, it's Alonzo with Last Legacy Gaming, doing my Son Goku SS4 deck profile. This deck is really fun, and it's honestly, obviously kind of similar to Gogeta Xeno, but it has a couple changes and a couple differences. But I think this deck is really flexible. It can be a lot better going into the future. But yeah, I got 4th place. Just want to show the profile. I'm really happy with it. Yeah, let's get into it. So obviously we got the leader. I'm not gonna explain it. First off, on the first part of this deck, we have the Goku Xeno pieces. So we have 4 of True Fighting Spirit Goku, 2 Vegeta True Fighting Spirit, and 2 of the Goku Premonition, and then 4 Super Combo. We're only playing 6. We don't want to awaken super quick in this deck. We want to be awakening it on turn 3. So we usually mill at least 2 or 3 times so we have enough pieces. And of course we can use it from hand if we need to. But I felt very comfortable with this number. I don't think I would change this. I think this is fine, especially in a deck that isn't centered around Gogeta Xeno as much as the actual Goku Xeno leader. This you're only using thwarting. And I feel like this has been perfect. I wouldn't change this. Really happy with that. And then for the next package we play in this deck, it's going to be the Unison Package. This card makes the Unison Package seem really nice. This card's so good, obviously +1, but the neg 2 is really good. One of the best things I could do the whole tournament that I did is you'll cycle these in between turns. You want to play this on turn 2. On turn 3, sometimes you won't use either of these. But you'll just draw and you'll play offensively. But after turn 4 and beyond, you can usually go on to at least turn 6, where you go neg 2 and then Bardock next turn, and then next 2 the next time, the next turn after that. And basically, you just keep using kind of both of them, and you make sure your opponent's basically only attacking one with 1 battle card per turn, if any. And it's just a really nice system, honestly. And that's like the biggest plus that this leader offers over a Gogeta Xeno, that you can play this a lot easier because this leader allows you to play SS4 or SS3 Gohan, and this kind of protects it. So when your overwhelms leave, you play this, you protect this, but also you can use it offensively, which I have a lot of times when they get rid of like a Gogeta Xeno. They're like bounce or something, I play attack, and it just gives you more offense and defense however you like. And also one of the best reasons that we do play all the 4 Unisons and we are a little bit more centric around this Unison is because this extra card. If you didn't know, this card is super underrated. This card's amazing. In hindsight though, I think 3 was the correct number. But anyway, it gets 15k for battle, or when your opponent attacks in every Unison, you get rid of one of your opponent's battle cards with 1,500 or 15,000 power or less, ignoring barrier. Really nice. But yeah, you always want to play this on turn 2, protect it, and you have a lot of cards to do that, as well as negates. And then basically, you just kind of use this after on turn 4 and make sure that their attacks are really limited, and then you still have all your other aggro black stuff. So it's really nice. So that's the second package we play on that. Really love that. And then all the extra cards we'll play 4 Super Kamehameha. I know I like 4, what? But nah, yellow was so prevalent, I knew it was going to be really played in this tournament, and I wanted 4 in the main. Not to mention in a lot of other circumstances, like red for Turbo. This is still really good in other niche situations. So I felt like 4 and 4, perfect. I love hard negates, and having hard negates that I can tap out. This 100% would not change. This, I was really happy with it. Obviously going forward, now that yellow isn't going to be, well, Icarus isn't going to be as prominent, I may take these out, or take 4 out. I'm not going to have 4. I might have 3 or 2. But I think I was very happy with 4 for this tournament. So those are all extra cards. The next piece, little package thing we play is just all the Vanish and Warp stuff, which is 2 Boo to draw and 3 Koetsukai. A lot of time you're going to be dropping one of these into your drop with your leader, and it's just really nice to always be able to put this back with your leader. So on any command, you can draw or make sure that they're going to get punished. So that's what makes this one of the big advantages of this one. So yeah, I was really happy with that. Wouldn't change those numbers at all. Alright, and then for the next piece, we have cards that aren't overwhelmed and do just like other stuff. Alright, and I guess I can go Gogeta Xeno. Alright, so yeah, so obviously we have Gogeta Xeno. We have one of these to get rid of Slug. We have a Kai just to warp something on attack. I can add it back with the SS4 Goku Beyond No Limits. And then we have SSG Goku. I really like these cards. This card came in clutch a couple times, but I think this was just like a fun idea. This wasn't honestly like too great. But it was a fun idea, and it was also another name because sometimes if you have a lot of energy, you literally just play this and overwhelm, and you just kind of have like free energy. So you wanted something to be proactive with your energy. So I think going forward, honestly, this probably should have just been just 3 of these, honestly. But this is good in its own like random time to shine. But yeah, that's all the cards we play that aren't Overwhelm or the other engines, and then we play a small Overwhelm package for like small power for these category, where we have 3 and 3 with someone mills 5, because a lot of times in the early games you want to hit him with a crit and you want to mill. You want to mill so you get the Gogeta names and you don't have to work for it. And obviously crit's just nice. But we have a 3 and 3 split. I'm really happy with this. I did all the numbers like for all of them to make sure they're exactly how I want them. So we have 6 lower cost overwhelms, and then we have 9 higher cost overwhelms. So we have a good split. This over here. So we have 2 Secret Identity, we have 1 SS4 Bardock, and then 2 of the Bardocks that can only attack once, and then we have 3 SS4 Son Goku Beyond All Limits. The reason I have this split is this is really good against Icarus, just random stuff. 3 I felt like is a perfect number, as well as all Beyond All Limits, because you don't always want to play that. And then we have 2, because you usually only resolve this once per game, and you can always add it back. And this is something that you kind of don't always play. A lot of times you don't want to play this one, but it's a really good option in certain matchups, so that's why we're only playing the one in the main deck. A lot of times you don't want to neg. You know they're going to play defensively, they have a negate or something, and you're going to lose value on this. Or if they have a Kai negate and you're playing against black, you don't play this card. But this card's just a really good card to have, and if they know that I'm playing it, they have to respect it. It's just a good card. Alright, and the last card we play in the main deck is 1 Fan. Just best black. Aggro, I've used it defensively. Great card. This also goes with the theme of the deck, where you only let them attack with battle cards a couple times. So you have the Bardock Overwhelm and the Bardock Unison. This with that, honestly, it goes all together really seamlessly. It's really good. There's not another one you can be playing in this exact deck. Alright, and then we got a side deck. We have 3 Gohan for blue. Didn't use it, but I would still not change it. It's still a great card. 1 max power. Sin ended up winning the tournament, and that's like the only thing I lost to was Sin Shenron, and I was not prepared for that in the least. Going forward, I would definitely change how my deck is built, just because that is honestly so important. Honestly, it just slipped my mind. But max power, super great card, great side, love it. 1 protector. It was not good. I would not side it again. 1 more Rebel Hammer. I just like having more counterplays, and this hits a couple other things. Like if I'm playing yellow, I can also hit just other stuff like Cooler, and just it's a little bit more versatile. So that's why we have 1 more counter negate. I think I was really happy with that. I did side it a couple times. 1 Oceana Shenron. If I had unlimited money, I'd probably be siding 3 of these. But we only have 1, and 1 was doing just fine. Alright, and then I have 3 Demigra. I didn't side any of this, but this is theoretically for any matchups that makes me slow down intentionally. I didn't side it once or play it, but I would definitely still keep it in, just because those matchups that it does provide a lot of value, it's honestly immeasurable. And so that's why we're playing that. Very happy with it still, even if I did play it. 1 Dark Mask King. This is the best way you can answer black. Card's amazing. Always at least side 1, because you can add it back with the SS4 Goku Beyond All Limits. Only need 1. Didn't use it, but still 100% would still keep it in. 1 more Gogeta. Sided this in all the time. This should have been in the main deck. And then we have 1 more Bardock for those really aggressive decks that I want to see this earlier, so we can see it earlier and I'll have to add it back. And then the 2 side cards are 2 Champa. I am not maining any Champa in the main deck. A lot of times you don't need to. Your leader is inherently double strike. So is Gogeta Xeno. One of the best cards in this deck that's kind of underrated, even though you wouldn't think it was, is this card. I was swinging with this. This card has double strike. Even though it has 5k, this is a bait a lot of times. Like, especially if you have a big hand, your opponent has to respect this. So a lot of times I'd play this for 1, swing, and they would be forced to negate because they'd be on low life or they're going to die. And like, so they have to negate this, and you're like, okay, well I just wasted 1 energy. This is kind of like a little Gogeta Xeno, and you kind of just like gives you a lot of value. So in the main deck, I didn't think I needed it, but against matchups that aggro is just really bad against, I wanted to have the option, and I did side it a couple times. I was pretty happy with this. But yeah, guys, that's the list. I was really happy with it. If you guys have any questions or anything, definitely hit me up. I was really happy with it. Had a lot of fun. Gogeta Xeno has its own strengths, but this has its own strengths as well. Being able to play Overwhelms for free every turn, really nice, and being able to get back Blue and Coach Sky. But yeah, anyway, that's the profile, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.